at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Double tight end alignment. Jaworski pops to Carmichael. So they start right out. Ernie Jones made the tackle, but the big 6'8" man made his first catch.
All right, Jaworski, you can see him. He lacks no confidence, sets up, drops it into Carmichael underneath. And as I said earlier, the Giants are afraid to death of Carmichael. He's always been able to get deep on them, so maybe that's why Jaworski was able to complete the short one.
Carmichael has caught passes in at least one pass in 79 consecutive games. He's one shy of the club record set by Tommy McDonald.
Harold Carmichael would break the NFL record for consecutive games with at least one catch and extend it to 127 games until Steve Largent broke the record in 1986.
He lost 11 pounds. We talked to him before the ball game, asked him how he felt. He said a little weak.
Sometimes you have your greatest games when you have the flu. You never can tell about football players.
That could be. The Giants last week had about 5 who had the flu, and they wrapped up the St. Louis Cardinals 27-7.
Their greatest game. But if you watch Sullivan on that play, usually a back will never get caught by the first man because you should move out, then float, then make your cut.
Second down and 9 yards to go for the Eagles in Giant territory. That's the running back. The reverse play this time with Charlie Smith carrying. The end, Charlie Smith, around to the 38-yard line. He's had 18 touchdown passes, but he's been intercepted 21 times. 3rd and 4. Sullivan and Hogan in the I formation. Jaworski. And he is sacked. Way back there near the 49-yard line. Harry Carson, the middle linebacker, got to him.
1977 was Hall of Famer Harry Carson's second NFL season. He was a Giants captain for 10 of his 13 seasons with the team, and when head coach Bill Parcells stood for the national anthem, he insisted that Harry Carson be by his side for good luck.
He's averaged 37.1. He's an 8-year veteran out of Georgia. Jones puts it up. Stanky calls for the fair catch, but he missed it. Back in the end zone, the scramble is on.
The Eagles got it.
Take it
like an eagle.
No, I think the Giants got it for a touchback. It'll be put in play first and 10 at the 20-yard line. After Stanky called for the fair catch and muffed the ball, it went into the end zone. The Giants recovered. It's a touchback. First and 10, Giants have the ball at the 20. Csonka and Hammond. Philly fans still aren't happy with the call. They thought they had some Philadelphia points. Hammond's carrying out to the 30. The little man bursts to the 35-40 and out of bounds. Up near midfield. Hammond carrying the ball, and Randy Logan finally ran him out.
Bobby Hammond made the most of his smallish 5'10", 171-pound frame in 1977. This is one of 4 starts he made that year as he rushed for a career-high 577 yards and added 889 more yards through receiving, kickoffs, and punt returns. His 1,466 all-purpose yards ranked 8th in the NFL, so he was extremely valuable. Not bad for being undrafted out of Morgan State.
44 first down.
Well, let's look at this from the end zone. Hammond comes around, floats, makes a good move right here, cuts back, keeps his balance. Good body lean, falls forward. That's all you can ask of a back.
Hammond just for about a yard to the 38. It'll be second down and 9 yards to go. Carl Hairston again came in to make the tackle. Most of you football fans are aware Jim Brown, who is our analyst this afternoon, is one of the great running backs in the history of the game, statistically rushing the greatest. We want to get some of his opinions about Larry Csonka. Now, New York fans have been frustrated this year by the fact that Larry Csonka in his Miami years was one of the great running backs in the history of the game. He hasn't been that productive for the Giants. So we want to get some opinions from Jim Brown about why. Csonka's in the up back spot there now. Hammond's the tailback. Hammond carries the football and gets inside the 35-yard line.
Speaking of Csonka, at Miami he had Warfield, he had Greasy, he had Mercury Morris, He had Don Shula. He had a great offensive line, a great all-around football team. He could concentrate on the things he did best, was block and go up the middle. With New York, he does not have that. He has a big salary. He has a team that's young. New York, in my opinion, should probably trade Csonka, get another back, give a team that needs those two things that Csonka can do best. That is my opinion.
Third down play. That's Hammond carrying again. After the 31-yard line, that is short of first down yardage. Hairston was the first man there. 6.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. In Philadelphia, there is no score. Now the short back takes it, and a whistle. A whistle. It's at the 24. Andy Selfridge made the tackle. There's a penalty. Delay of game against the Giants.
10 years ago, no one knew me. I was part of the famous no-name defense. Then we built our reputation by being fast. Now, I don't want to lose that. I drink light beer from Miller because it doesn't fill me up, has the third less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great. Now everyone knows me.
Hey, I know you. You're,
Nick Bonacani.
No, that's not it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
First and 10. For the Eagles, starting at their own 15, just in advance of the 15-yard line. That's Lusk evening up to the left side. Herb Lusk, he can fly. Instead, they give it to Hogan. Moves into the 19-yard line. And Harry Carson, the middle linebacker, made the tackle. That's Hammond dropping back now to field the punt. Spike Jones is in deep punt formation for the Philadelphia Eagles, who are coached by Dick Vermeil.
And if Hammond is going to carry the offensive load, to be able to also return punts is going to take an awful lot out of him. Which points out, excuse me, Lindsay, go ahead.
It's Hammond moving up. He has it at his 46. Gets to the 50 and across to the 48, and that's that. Pisarcik to the sideline. Perkins is there and at the 43-yard line. Hammond off at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
You know, the Giants are very high on their wide receivers. They have Robinson, they have Perkins. They feel that they have really some good young guys out there. They think that's one of their strongest points.
Jim Brown, do you ever really get used to playing football in cold weather?
To tell you the truth, don't ever listen to a football player when he tells you he likes cold weather. It is too dangerous. You cannot hold the ball. You cannot run with abandon. You must be too careful to truly do the things you do best.
Allen. Ball back at the 41-yard line. Now, just a little pop pass over the middle. Got it back to about the 38-yard line.
Yes, sir. Had a little problem with 79 right there, but on that kind of play, a trick play like that, you sometimes have problems with your own men.
Hammond, of course, the first quarter. Clear and cold in Philadelphia. Fumble on the snap.
And that's an example of being clear and cold.
It surely is.
With the emphasis on cold.
Giants get the ball first and 10 at the 21. First big break of the ball game.
And you know, when you talk about football players like Carson, who is a hitter, do you realize, Lindsay, that there are only 4 or 5 hitters on an entire football team? Guys that will actually go out and knock somebody's head off?
All right, first and 10 at the 21. That's Csonka carrying. To the right side. Big Csonka.
Big Csonka. Just sort of floating in there. 2 hands around the ball. Really good in the Miami days. Because the offensive line will usually get them out of the way. Give you a chance to get your momentum. Get yourself 4 or 5. Here in New York, the offensive line is one of the weakest part of their team.
Offensive line's been a game of musical chairs for most of the year for the Giants.
Yes, and the coaches admit themselves that that is their weakest point.
Second and 6. Pisarcik. Goes complete to Csonka. Csonka's got it at the 5-yard line. Still third down. Penalty down doesn't count, of course. Try it again. Touchdown,
Yes,
Giants. Pisarcik on the sneak. That's Montgomery, number 31, back there. He's explosive, and Larry Marshall's back there with him to receive the kickoff from Joe Danello.
Montgomery has about 4.4 speed, which is something that the Eagles need. They kept him in camp, although they felt he should have been cut because he has great potential. You hear the word potential a lot. This man really has great potential.
Danello puts it up. Montgomery moves up. Montgomery at the 10-yard line. He's at the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Montgomery goes down at the 30-yard line. On to make the tackle was Dan Lloyd. Jim Brown at Abilene Christian. Montgomery scored 76 touchdowns, and he had 37 of them in his freshman year.
Despite having 76 career college touchdowns, Wilbert Montgomery was only a 6th-round draft pick in 1977 out of Abilene Christian. It's a good thing the Eagles didn't cut him from the squad. He was a total yards from scrimmage machine. He led the NFL with 2,006 yards in 1979, was 7th in 1978, and 3rd in 1981. 4.4 speed and a 40-yard dash for a running back is awfully hard to come by.
Lone setback. Jaworski angles and looks. Wanted to hit Henry, but now he is down, fumbles the ball, and recovers it himself on the 13-yard line. George Martin was there for the Giants. It's going to be 4th down. The punting unit comes in. They've got Csonka even up with Hammond now. It's the setback. Wide receivers left and right for Pasarczyk. Fake the draw. Pasarczyk, and it's Shirk, but intercepted by Herman Edwards. Herman Edwards intercepted. Shirk was the intended receiver.
Herman Edwards was an undrafted free agent out of San Diego State, and as a rookie in 1977 he had 6 interceptions and followed it up with 7 interceptions in 1978. He was an Eagle for 9 years, and of course his primary claim to fame occurred in the 12th game of the 1978 season against the Giants, in the game nicknamed the Miracle at the Meadowlands, when he returned a fumble for a touchdown in the final seconds to win the game for Philly.
Eagles first and 10 at their own 46.
Intercepted, fumbled, and recovered the fumble.
Jaworski. Carmichael. He's got it. They're still in contention in the Central Division of the NFC. Hogan to a left set, Montgomery to a right set. Montgomery finds some running room. Turn the rookie loose to the 21-yard line before Troy Archer and Harry Carson stop it.
That's where you could see that quickness. It was a good initial hold, but the quickness of Montgomery is what did it. Quick little move, quick acceleration, good forward lean.
Third and 3. Montgomery left, Hogan right. Jaworski pops it to Carmichael. Well, Ernie Jones was with him. Ernie Jones was with him, and it's incomplete.
Number 18 is Roman Gabriel, who will hold the ball for this field goal attempt. He was playing in the next to last game of his brilliant 16-year NFL career.
He is 0 for 1. 25-yard field goal, and it's good. Dick Mitchemeyer with a 25-yarder. His first as a Philadelphia Eagle, although he played for Temple here in Philadelphia. The Eagles get 3 points on the scoreboard, and it is the Giants 7, the Eagles 3, and we have 4 minutes 50 seconds remaining to be played in the first half here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. You see Montgomery on the far side, Marshall on the near side, and Joe Danello will kick it off as we start the second half. Giants lead 7-3. Montgomery has it at the 1-yard line. Montgomery to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Montgomery 35-40. Montgomery.
Check the speed. Let's check the speed.
The 4-4 speed on 99-yard return. 99 yards on the kickoff return for the young man of whom we spoke in the first half, Wilbert Montgomery from Abilene Christian.
And that's what you do with 4-4 speed. All right. You watch him, he moves straight up, follows his wedge, makes a good move, got a good block, find a lot of open air, cut back beautifully, moved back to the outside, put the ball to the outside, and went to the 4-4 speed.
He got to the point where he turned on the afterburner, 99 yards. Pisarcik brings them up. He gets quarterback the Giants all day. Ed Marshall's in there now on a wide receiver. Spencer.
Running back Willie Spencer was one of those rare players who played in the NFL despite not attending college. He was 6'3", 235 pounds, and was a 23-year-old rookie for the Vikings in 1976, but saw very limited duty. He had 100 carries and 5 touchdowns for the Giants in 1977 and 1978, and that was it, despite having huge size and spectacular speed.
Now notice, he was very fortunate because he allowed the tackler to get underneath. On a situation like that, you should never let the tackler get underneath.
Hammond's catch. But Bill Berge got in to pull him down at the line of scrimmage.
Bill Berge, all pro. That was all defense then. There was nothing you could say about the runner. There's nothing you could say about the offense. That was all defense.
Bill Berge, one of the fine linebackers in this game, a 9-year veteran out of Arkansas State.
He's highly respected by other players. That's something that I always have high respect for. When another player respects you, your opponents respect you, you are playing football. We'll get a good idea how they feel about themselves on this particular play.
Csonka's the up back. Hammond's the tailback for Pisarcik. That's Hammond.
Well, they feel pretty good about themselves.
They leave it on the ground and make it work.
They know what they can do. When 3rd and 6, they know how to run it. I want to see that again myself. Little misdirection. Hammond comes back. Oh, good move. Good sideward movement. Cuts back. Good blocking. Continuing blocking.
Pisarcik. No pass. Line of scrimmage, no game.
Pisarcik.
The Eagles were outplayed on offense all game long. They only had 10 first downs to the Giants' 15, 123 rushing yards to the Giants' 153, negative 13 net passing yards to the Giants' 65, which is nothing to be proud of either. Jaworski was sacked 5 times while Pisarcik never hit the deck. Let's see if they can overcome this offensive ineptitude and pull out a win.
Montgomery, who returned the kickoff a moment ago.
Oh, yes.
He's a little fired up, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Turnaround, pops to Carmichael. But he was wrapped up. Montgomery to the left step. Make the draw. Jaworski throwing. Incomplete to Kreftley.
Protection on that play was pretty good. Jaworski had a lot of time. Took aim, aimed it. But in cold weather, once again, it's very difficult to catch the ball.
Wally Henry has moved out to a wide left. There's only one setback now. Jaworski gonna run it. Sort of scissored as he got up there to the 44.
Well, you know these quarterbacks running the ball, but they're taught to really go down. They run with such a timid stride. It's something that's hard for me to get used to.
Pisarcik brings him up. Dropping back again. There's Pisarcik. Goes to Moorhead at the 50-yard line and across to the 49. First and 10. John Outlaw made the tackle.
Sir, and give it to the offensive line because he had a lot of time to throw. And when you give a decent quarterback a lot of time to throw, he's usually going to throw it pretty well. Let's watch the blocking here. Good blocking, good blocking. You hit and you sustain. Delivery was good. The ball was on target. That's the way you do it. That's the way you draw it on the board.
In that Houston game, by the way, Billy White Shoes Johnson had a 72-yard return for a touchdown.
You know he can't outrun Tony Dorsett in a sprint? You never believe that.
Hammer Philly defense, Carl Hairston, who has played a fine game today.
Csonka moving in for the block. A little too slow. You can see it's a little too slow there. Hammond had to slow up, allow the defense to come in.
The Eagles are leading by a score of 10-7. We have 3 minutes, 38 seconds left in the third quarter. Henry Moorhead's in the wide left and Marshall's in the slot left. Spencer and Csonka. Csonka carries. You know, Jim, when you speak of Csonka, even in his best days, he wasn't the fastest man off the blocks in the world.
Well, it's not only speed, Lindsey, it's maneuverability. In order for a big man to gain a lot of yardage like that, his offensive line has got to be tremendous.
Second down play, and they give it to Csonka again. Outside the 36-yard line. To Starcher. Well, little Timmy Robinson, 5'9", couldn't get that high, needed to step ladder. Danello, and this will be a 53-yard attempt on a cold day with Mallory holding. Joe Danello, a 53-yard attempt. Now the ball goes over at the line of scrimmage. Keep that in mind, the 36-yard line.
Joe Danello was the Giants kicker from 1976 through 1982, and he kicked some long field goals during his time with the Giants. His 52-yarder was the longest in the NFL in 1978, as was his 55-yarder in 1981.
Hogan quickly pulled down by Mendenhall.
Mendenhall, highly respected by his teammates, highly respected by his opponents. Great quickness, great strength.
Third down and 8 yards to go. The Eagles have the ball at their own 38. The Eagles are leading by a score of 10-7. Kowarski. Finally wrapped up by Carson.
Defense. You get warm, you get a little tired, you get a little sweaty. When you have good backs, you don't play a lot of them. You usually play two, and a substitution will usually come when the game is just about over.
Big Csonka with his biggest gain of the day, and Csonka moves it through to the 44-yard line, 45.
Offensive line. Csonka goes through, big hole, big hole. Nobody there. The Csonka drops the shoulder, drops the arm.
John Sanders is injured on the play. That is he on the ground for the Philadelphia Eagles. The ball is spotted.
I wonder how many players like number 26 John Sanders have been knocked goofy by Larry Csonka over the years. Dozens and dozens.
First and 10 now for the Giants. They have the ball at the Eagles' 44-yard line. The Eagles 10 and the Giants 7. Spencer moving over right. Coder is in the fullback spot. All his bootleg. Pisarcik has it. Slid it to inside the 35-yard line. Coder, the short man, is the receiver. Second down and a yard to go. Inside the 35-yard line. Csonka gets the first and 10.
Good move, good move.
Giants keep their drive alive, first and 10.
All right, now watch Csonka. He goes in straight, both hands on the ball, but he takes that little move to the outside, comes back, uses his strength, gets the first down.
Spencer left Csonka right, third and 1. Csonka, first and 10. He picked up the first down at the 20-yard line.
Except that's when you go straight ahead. Now this is sheer power. Gets low, low, low. Gets underneath the tackler.
So now with 9 minutes, 45 seconds left to play.
And we have a coaching decision.
We do, and they're going to try to pick up the foot now. It's Csonka and Spencer. Outside the 10-yard line. Quarterback sneak for Pisarcik. And he may have picked it up. Csonka and Spencer in the I formation for Pisarcik. Big block to the
Tom.
5-yard line.
They're using him today.
There he goes, the big fellow.
2 hands on the ball, head down, legs pumping.
Csonka.
Looking good. Looking good.
About the 1-yard line. Mahalik stopped him.
Yes. Short man up. Wraps the ball up, drops that shoulder, keeps the legs moving. He does that beautifully.
The Eagles are leading 10-7. The Giants are at the 1-yard line.
New York is looking on.
And Csonka is stacked up at the 1-foot line. It's going to be 4th down coming up. 4th down play coming. Csonka is the up back. Spencer is the tailback. 4th down and goal. They go at the foot line. Csonka, touchdown! He just barely got in. Csonka just barely got in before the second burst that carried him on. All right. Wilbert Montgomery is the tailback. Montgomery. Woo! Fumble the ball. Montgomery fumbled, and the Eagles got it at the 46. Wilbert Montgomery, the tailback. Well, he got rid of the football.
He wanted to lateral that ball, and the lineman looked at him with a puzzled look, and so he did throw it in the direction of one of his offensive men.
Incompletion simply, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line. In the air, he's 4 for 10 today, 33 yards. Ron Jaworski. 2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Eagles. Hogan caught up Montgomery. Montgomery with a big opener. 3rd down and 4. Eagles at the Giants, 39. Big play here. I think he stopped just a little short. 4th down. Less than a yard to go for the Eagles. They have the ball at the Giants' 36. We have 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the game. And the Giants are leading 14-10.
Walski just came in with the play after conferring with the coach.
Hogan and Montgomery in the I formation. Montgomery over to a left set. Montgomery's got the 1st and 10.
Oh, yes. He went to the air. Now, this is a very interesting point. Montgomery kept his eyes open, kept his head up, went to the air because basically the Giants' defensive line submarine, which meant they charged low.
1st and 10 outside the 32-yard line. Montgomery. 2nd down. 4 yards to go. Ball is at the 27. 3 minutes, 5 seconds remaining to be played in this game. Montgomery. The rookie from Abilene Christian inside the 20-yard line. Another 1st and 10.
And he means business.
Wilbert Montgomery, 5'10", 195-pounder rookie from Abilene Christian.
And they say that the other players have wondered why the coaches have not used him more this year. Right now I'm wondering the same thing.
1st and 10. Montgomery in the left set. Hogan inside the 15. Drives it down to the 12-yard line. 2 minutes to go. The Giants are leading 14-10, but the Eagles are driving. 2nd down and 4. Montgomery to the left side. Montgomery slithers through to the 6-yard line. 1st and 10. 1st and goal. Harry Carson made the tackle.
Now you watch this, Lindsey. This is good running because he was almost caught at the line of scrimmage. But he dropped that shoulder, kept his legs moving, and got a lot of yardage that he shouldn't have gotten.
Montgomery's carried 11 times for 57 yards. It is 1st down and goal to go. The Eagle crowd is in an uproar. Minute and a half remaining in the game. Hogan pulled down at about the 3. The Eagles have the ball on the Giants' 3, second down and goal to go. The field goal won't help them. They have to take it all the way in. The Giants are leading 14-10. A minute, 8 seconds left to play in the game. Montgomery to the left side. Montgomery powers to the 1-yard line. It'll be third down and goal at the 1-yard line.
Defense tightened up there. They got it down low, and they stopped it. But he went in there with a lot of authority.
You see the clock running, less than a minute to play. The Philadelphia Eagles trying to pull it out here in the closing seconds of the game. The Giants 14, the Eagles 10, but it is third down and goal to go at the 1. Hogan and Montgomery in the I formation for Jaworski. Montgomery to the left side. Montgomery.
Defense.
He did not get in. Defense. He did not get in. Dan Lawrence at the charge. Timeout to stop the clock with 25 seconds. The Eagles take the timeout. It'll be fourth down and goal to go. Crowds in an uproar. By the way, 63,000 tickets were sold. There was some 15,000 no-shows on a cold day in Philadelphia. Fourth down and goal to go. The ball's on the 1-foot line. Hogan ahead of Montgomery. Just for all the marbles. He wants Carmichael on the other side. Montgomery to the left side.
A lot of time.
Now roll out and he's in there. Touchdown. Jaworski. Jaworski rolled out. Oh, that's what you call gambling, and he rolled out loud.
He fooled me.
He fooled everybody. 8 seconds to play. The Eagles 17, the Giants 14. Pisarcik going as far as he can go. Moorhead downfield. And the Eagles intercepted at the 21. John Sanders.
If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to share it and leave comments, which help me to continue publishing entertaining videos. As always, thank you for watching.